Alright, we're back playing Vampire Survivors. Apparently there's evolved garlic. Can somebody tell me what's the evolution for garlic? Oh, okay, it's still working. Regen. Okay, sure. I will say I am currently installing a game to my hard drive right now. Seems to have possibly created a situation where things are a little... Maybe they were only slower for a second. Maybe they were only slower for a moment. I'm sure it'll be fine. We've never had issues with frames in this game before. There we go. So, I mean, if we're going to get evolved garlic, let's play as Poe. I'm a simple man. I like to go to the Mad Forest. 10% luck bonus. I'm a simple man. How'd you get Balder? Oh yeah, thank you for noticing. So here's where I'm at with respect to my beard, okay? Okay, I don't know about this. So we're catching a hitch now and then. Let's take a knife. I got a little sick of not sick, because let's not wish that on myself or my family right now. But I got sick of having to trim my beard or let it like overgrow into like a, you know, that Jack Dorsey sort of whip. Shaving is just so much easier, man. Like to just take the electric razor and not have to worry about like, you know, a line or anything like that, to just be able to, you know, just scrape it across the whole face and go like that. It's just more convenient. Also, I think there's a part of me that's like, I think because I've been watching more Seinfeld, I'm kind of slipping into some like 90s normcore, where I'm like, dude, look at nobody on the damn show has a beard. Look, it's crazy. You can see their jaw lines. You can see like their facial features. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's made me a little nostalgic. Okay, what does Bird upgrade with now? Or is it the other bird? It's the other bird. Okay, never mind. Give me a whip then. I'll take a whip. I don't mind a whip. You need both birds, then get them to level 8. Okay. Oh, so when you were saying other bird, you're saying I need both birds to evolve each other. How interesting. So anyway, that's my perspective on going beardless. Is that I felt like the beard was like a great look towards the end of Kate's pregnancy and also the early times of the baby's life, because, you know, if you're a dad of a newborn, it's a signaling device to have a beard. It's like, hey, I'm tired. And also, like, maybe I'm like covering up, you know, some puffiness in the face that may have been created over the early months of the pandemic. Now we're in like the forever endemic, and I'm like, okay, I don't really have that as an excuse anymore. So let's give me more garlic. So let's show off the face a little bit more. It does also make my life a little bit easier that, like, you know, 1 to 2 times a week when I shave. We don't need clover. Clover upgrades cross. I remember now. You have a dimple on your chin? Oh, thank you for noticing. I've been hitting the Peloton pretty hard lately. Spellbinder, Holy Bible, Candelabrador. Candelabrador upgrades axes. But it does also make garlic larger. Okay, well, you know, we could take an axe, or maybe we won't. We'll see. Any advice for the first few weeks of having a child? Well, would you look at that? I mean, the first few weeks is honestly just like Like, you're gonna figure it out, but if it's your first kid, and, you know, I mean, you're just gonna be, like, a little lost. I would just say take it, like, hour by hour. The only, like, non-generalized piece of advice, like, the only specific piece of advice I have is, like, definitely, even in, and I don't know, you might not even take this advice. I think it's, like, hardwired into the, you know, human DNA for, like, their first kid. But, like, definitely do not do what we did, where we tried to take shifts where one of us would sleep and then the other person would stay awake and watch the baby even while the baby slept. In the, you know, thinking, like, we need to have our eyes on this creature literally 100% of the time. We did that for, like, 3 days, and eventually, like, your body just gives up, right? Like, you just fall asleep, and then you wake up and you're like, oh my god, it's my fault. And then, you know, the baby's just sleeping, and you're like, okay, never mind, let's never do this again. This is like, you know, it turns out everything's totally fine. I mean, that's why, like, I can't speak to the scientific veracity of the device, but I feel like the smart sock known as the Owlet, that was like a pulse oximeter and, you know, heart rate monitor for the baby, well, you weren't necessarily, like, in the same room as them, or even if you were, I feel like it paid for itself just in the amount of sleep that I was able to get, because we knew when we went to bed is like, okay, this thing's gonna go like beep 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 if something terrible happens overnight. So I think that that's like an action item, but then also it's not even really like an action item, because I'm pretty sure that they took it off the market, or at least off the App Store, because they were, I don't know, like the FDA, I can't speak for the United States, of course, they would not let me, but I'm pretty sure, like, they marketed it as, like, a consumer good, but because it's actually classified more as, like, a healthcare device or a medical device, there's, like, different rigorous standards that it has to adhere to in order to be listed in the App Store. So, like, it wasn't like the sock was, like, you know, causing medical issues, but it's perhaps being evaluated by the wrong criteria, which led to it, at least at some point last year. I don't know if it's still like that, but at some point it was delisted from the App Store. So that's, I don't really have any advice. Just, like, you know, it's not, if I could give advice to myself from that period, it would honestly just be like, you know, just try to relax a little bit. That's about it. I'm happy that we had, like, a pre-birth class that taught us, because, like, you know, there's, like, handbooks and stuff, like the BC government here, they make, like, a handbook, but the handbook is for new parents, but the advice is just scary stuff. Like, if you need the book, you probably should have, you know, read the book before you had a baby, because the book is like, you know, don't juggle bowling balls directly above your baby, and you're like, yeah, no kidding. In the same room maybe, but, like, you know, not in the direct vicinity. But then, like, the class that we had was, like, very useful. Lots of stuff that she said I drew strength from in those early weeks. Like, when she was like, hey, did you, like, this is gross, I'm just gonna tell you, but also, like, you were there, so don't front. Like, not there at the class, I hope, because it was in our house, but, like, you know, you were a baby once. But it's like, hey, here's something disgusting. You know, a baby's first poop, like, is pure, like, black tar. And then, like, also, again, while we're talking about stuff that's, like, even probably more disgusting for people than that, did you know that girls, when they're born, can actually soon after birth essentially have, like, a mimicked period because of the hormones that they, you know, had been getting a cocktail of in the womb. So that's something I was, like, really glad to know when I opened up the diaper and there was, like, a lot of blood in there, because if I hadn't taken the class, I think I would have been like, It's broken. It's... excuse me, is this thing still under warranty? I think there's a problem here. But instead, I was like, it's broken. But then, like, a second later, I was like, never mind, I remember now. It's just like, you know, Mother Nature's, like, gross, but also, like, you know, kind of amazing. There's all sorts of stuff. But yeah, those early weeks, you know, I mean, it's a blur. I would say, like, do what you gotta do to survive. Yeah, I mean, it's gross, but, like, you get over it, man. Many of my takes have been bad. For example, like, White Sox versus Black Sox, man. Like, what was the... Fashion has changed. It made me look like a fool. But one of my takes that actually I feel like it's aged nicely is I really don't give a crap about the diapers, man. Sometimes, not everybody, but you know, some people, especially I think if you're a man, you know, if you still know people who live in like a 1950s family dynamic, they'll be like, oh, you know, does he help with the diapers? Oh, you know, are you gonna change diapers? The diapers are like no problem at all. It's not a big deal in the slightest. Like, it's actually, I mean, you just get used to it. The first time you're like, oh, human poop that's not my own. And then literally like every time after that, yeah, they're not all created equal. Some of the poops are worse than others for sure. But it's no big deal, man. Not a big deal in the slightest. Clover, thank you, thank you. When do they start potty training? Great question. I don't know the answer. I feel like it's after 2. Love this on my lunch break. Honestly, like, I'm dead. Whatever you're eating for lunch is probably grosser than what's in my baby's diaper. That's probably not true now that I think of it, but, okay, give me the duplicator. But it's possible. Do you live close to a Burger King or work close to a Burger King? There's an orb. Okay, hold on. There is an orb. Thank you. I need this. I need this. Look, here's my thinking right now. I think if we're able to beat this boss, we win the whole run. We get a chest, evolved garlic. We probably want to make a clean break through the flowers, is my guess. And now we got a chicken over there. Don't worry, we'll get the other bird. I guess we could have gotten... No. This is the right play. Even if the other bird is necessary for the evolution, we want the garlic evolution first, because the birds are probably... I don't know if they both have to get to level 8, if one's got to get to level 8. Like, I think we're doing the right thing here. I think this was a sensible play. Both have to hit level 8? Yeah, then I'm doubling down. This was definitely the right play. I might be a genius, actually. Approved. Thank you, thank you. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna get you. It's post 10 minutes. I'm gonna get you. The whip's hitting you. You're standing inside the fire. I need you to die, like, right now, though. Like, you need to go down pretty much within the next 50 seconds. I'm confident that's gonna happen as long as I keep you in whip range. Yes! Yes! Okay, axe me, please. It's guaranteed, right? It's guaranteed. That seems like upgraded garlic. What is it, ginger? Doesn't really make any sense. Soul Eater! Steals hearts. Power increases when recovering HP. Whoa, what the heck? Alright. That seems pretty good. True, that's pretty true. Look, I like ginger. I think there's no reason they have to fight. Let's put it that way. There's no reason you have to compare garlic and ginger. They're both chillin'. What's the problem? That being said, I do like garlic more. Hey, ginger, you know what? It is too much work. I'm with you. I take back everything I just said. I think garlic wins hands down. You know what they should do? Monsanto, here's one for free on the house. I'll take... I want to skip. I would like to skip this one. We can't take Rune Tracer because we need the bird. Good point, good point. Here's one for free, Monsanto. What if you artificially selected for ginger that grew smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually, you know, in like hundreds of years, we as a species are left with ginger root the size of a garlic bulb. Because that's my... I always end up buying... Like, I need ginger for like one recipe. I buy some ginger root. I use like a quarter of it. And then, like, I'm just looking for excuses to, like, use ginger in everything from that point onwards. Which, like, there's worse fates on Earth, don't get me wrong. It's not, like, an incredible curse or, like, or something like that. But it's, you know... Often, I would say ginger typically goes bad before I can use as much of it as I'd like to. It freezes well? I'm gonna be honest with you, Dad, I did not know. I did not know that. My dad just steals like a nug. Can you do... I've never broken anything at the grocery store in order to... Because I feel like when you do that, what you're doing is you're leaving an exposed piece of ginger that makes the person who buys that part of the root have a piece of ginger that goes bad faster. Even bananas? No, I get kind of annoyed when I go to the grocery store and I see that somebody's taken like 2 bananas off of a bunch. I'm not, like, I don't think they should be tried as war criminals, but I am like, you know, I wouldn't do it. I will say, the grocery store shall remain nameless, but if you live in Canada, let's just say that it's a grocery store that, provides the bare minimum, and that's also their name. One might say. But, yes, you got it. That was fast. Not surprising, but you got it. I was in there, and there was a woman had clearly, because they don't, like, sell half-dozen eggs. They only sell eggs by the dozen, because if you wanted a half-dozen eggs... Well, that would be considered, for many people, probably a frill, some might say. But she had clearly just, like, ripped a carton in half with her bare hands. And then was, she took it up to the cash register, and the cashier was just like, I don't know what to do with this, because, like, you know, the barcode says, like, 12 eggs, but there's only 6 eggs here. And also, that meant that there was, like, you know, just a half carton of eggs just sitting in the cooler that probably no one would buy because it, like, looks sketchy as hell. Okay, we gotta get these 2 to level 8. That's gonna take a long time. I'm willing to do that, but I'm willing to do the time, but it's gonna take some time. We might as well get started now. Double Rubus. You piece. You know what? Do we need anything else? We might... I guess maybe Hollow Heart for Whip, but I kind of want the Attract Orb, honestly. Like, I think if we just get the upgraded bird, that would make me happy enough. We already have upgraded garlic. We would then get upgraded, like, double bird. I think that this will give us the XP to hit a double bird fast enough to hopefully win. That's my thinking. The grocery store I used to go to in the Bronx, they would like use a hacksaw to cut the egg cartons in half for you. That's actually hilarious. I mean, there's no reason... Well. There's no reason, you know, from a data standpoint that like a carton of eggs shouldn't be mutable, right? Like you could slice off a vertical slice. Hell, I think, to be honest with you, the carton would still be fine if you just sliced one egg off and just took one egg in its own little carton home with you. I don't see a real reason why that should not work. It is a little silly, but still, you know, I understand. I mean, I don't know how many times, I probably say it once a week now. People are like, shut up, but I'm like, I can't talk about anything else because this game is like, it takes up all your neural activity. But I still think there's a market for like smaller grocery stores. Like 12 eggs is too much for me, man. It depends what you're eating. Like I know if for like a family of 3, you could easily use 12 eggs a week. You could probably use 12 eggs 2 times a week. You know, if you're having them every morning, maybe you're adding them to your, you know, fried rice for dinner or whatever. But, you know, for our family, like, it's so hard to use a whole loaf of bread, and it's so hard to use, like, a whole carton of eggs. If I could reliably get, like, 4 eggs from the grocery store, I'd be pretty pleased, honestly. But instead, like, if you want to get 4 eggs, they only let you get, like, 4 eggs if they're, you know, like, weird eggs. You know, they're, like, Cornish game hen eggs. Please, I need the sides, thank you. Now we're talking. You can't -2 a take. You can only -2 a joke. A take, you just quote tweet on private and say, I can't believe there's actually people who believe this. And the 6 psychos who share your opinions on absolutely everything go, so true, so true. It wasn't a joke! More birds. You think I don't see your quote tweets? I see your quote tweets. Why are you on private? You got 6 followers. You're on private even when you're on public. You might as well openly be a hater. +2, +2. Thank you, thank you. Okay, there's one level 8. Did you see, by the way, that... So I talked about, I think it was last Vampire Survivors. I talked about how there was a TikTok where it said, POV, you were nice to a boy in year 8, and now after you get railed, you have to watch Mario 64 speedruns. And it was her watching me play Super Auto Pets. So we talked about it on Thursday or Friday, and I was telling you that, like, at that point it was like pseudo-viral. It had like 4,000 hearts on TikTok, which is not like, you know, a national sensation, but it's pretty popular. Apparently it got deleted because the word railed is inappropriate. I've also had TikTok delete some of my stuff. Like when Apollo said he had a classmate where when he squeezed his nipple, milk came out, and then Justin said, I hope he's dead. That one got deleted off of TikTok for inappropriate content. But anyway, so she re-uploaded it. The re-uploaded version has 650,000 views, man. That's crazy. And it also, I believe it incorporates, you know, when I discovered the video as well. So, you know, more power to you. It's got 400,000 likes right now. That's crazy, man. Over 1.1 million now? It's at the point where it's going to become like more popular than any TikTok I had ever posted. Which is fine, you know, that's what leaving a legacy means. You need to charge royalties? Nah, it's like, I got a good thing going. I don't want to, like, mess it up. Try to get too greedy. There's an orb. Okay. I don't need to know where the orb is. I have an attract orb. The attract orb will find it for me. Give me more attract orb. I want to go exponential. I want that Kathy Wood hockey stick. Who up playing with their orb? Who up pondering their orb? I didn't do a lot of orb pondering this weekend. I did watch Jackass 2 again, though. It's... Okay, well, let me rephrase what I was gonna say. So the new Jackass is coming out, right? They should not be legally able to do stunts anymore. I think Jackass is the kind of movie and, well, like, phenomenon, I guess, that can only exist in a country with private healthcare. Because, like, the government would stop Johnny Knoxville in Canada. He would be like, dude, like, our hospitals, you're killing our hospitals here, Johnny Knoxville. What is it this time? Oh, I was doing a competition to see who could stay on a seesaw longer while, like, a raging bull charged at us and then his horn perforated my gut. You know, they would cut that out. Like, political parties would run on that. But in America, it's okay, because they're like, you know, MTV's paying for it. Now, I think the next 10 minutes is honestly probably going to take us 15 minutes to do. And that's okay. I'm thinking, like, at some point, when we get the evolved birds, they might be strong enough that they'll wipe out the enemies. This is copium, I'll admit, but they might be strong enough that they wipe out the enemies fast enough to keep the frames okay until, like, 25 minutes. More? Literal time dilation. You need to not die when your birds become level 1 again, though. Whoa, what the heck? Spoilers, but also, they wouldn't do that to me. They wouldn't do that to me. It's all good. I wonder what Chris Pontius is going to do with his you-know-what in Jackass. The other thing that's kind of crazy to me, I mean, I guess, like, there was some drug use going on, but it's kind of wild watching Jackass 2, and you're like, you know, with a couple of exceptions, these guys are actually in, like, pretty incredible shape. Like, considering, like, their whole thing is, you know, destroying their bodies, actually seems like, you know, their relative exercise and nutrition were actually, like, pretty on point. Kind of crazy. Level 7. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, it's like a skateboarder thing. I mean, it's kind of crazy that, I mean, this is making a mockery of addiction, so I apologize. But, like, when the people that are in Jackass are like, I was on drugs when those movies were made, I'm like, yeah, no kidding. I watched, like, a cobra bite you on the tip of your penis. Like, that's, come on. That's... They're not surprised. I'm not, like, you know, vindicating it necessarily, but, like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Then when a Hollywood actor is like, you know, oh, yeah, like, I was on heroin when we filmed, you know, like, Mordecai. I'm like, what? That shit fucking sucked, man. That movie was pure ass. You weren't even getting, like, shot in the belly with a cannonball or anything. You were just, like, reading lines somebody else wrote. Orb. It's a bad day. You get -2 that, but also it's kind of funny in many ways if you don't think about it too much. Okay, we need to kill a boss. Maybe they were just on drugs because it was boring. I suppose that makes sense. That's why I started drinking coffee. Is this super garlic and rune tracer? So it's super garlic, super knife, super axe, and then I think we're trying to kill a boss to get our evolved super bird pair, which could be happening as we speak. That looks like a super bird. He only flies away. I don't know where my home is. I don't know where my soul is. Seems pretty cool. We still have one weapon left. Were we wait? Oh, because we just combined two. I think we want Laurel. Every time we get space left, I'm like, we need Laurel, man. Not Lightning Ring. You get Laurel. Pentagram, unfortunately, is a passive, I think. I think we're going to be fine. Pentagram's a weapon? Oh, well, then maybe we do want Pentagram. Why does it look like it's doing no damage? Well, you ever hear the P.T. Barnum quote, there's a sucker born every minute? In this game, there's more than one sucker born every minute. There's like a sucker born like every 1/50th of a second, probably. So even though, like, you know, we're kind of crushing them right now, they just keep coming, man. They just keep coming. How about that weekend of NFL football, huh? I didn't see any of the games, but I certainly followed it on Twitter. You know what I realized this weekend is that the NFL playoffs are legit to American Twitter what Eurovision is to European Twitter. Which is, you'll just be like, you know, drinking a cup of coffee, and then you'll see like 70 tweets pop up in 5 seconds with no context that just say things like, whoa, no way, I don't believe it, this game, ... What's going on? Again? And then you're like, what the hell is going on? And then you're like, oh, you know, they scored a touchdown. I'm not knocking it. It's the communal aspect of sports, if anything. I'm jealous, you know, that hockey is outside of Canada, at least still kind of a niche sport, so we don't really get that sense of community, except when there's like a scandal. We don't have anything to upgrade. Except Europeans actually hashtag. I would say that's largely true. I'd say that's largely true. Orb down left. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Orb. Down right. Okay. The queen's left. Fade them. I see it! The Queen's Gambit. Don't talk to me about Anya Taylor-Joy. You know how, like, those two guys are suing Universal Pictures because that movie that they were gonna... yesterday, the movie Yesterday, it had Ana de Armas in the trailer, but then she got cut from the actual movie, so they're suing Universal for false advertisement. Can I sue whatever studio published Last Night in Soho for advertising that the movie was going to be good, but actually it sucked. I guess we're taking Firewall, then. Had to be done. I don't, like, I guess we can't really sue because we rented the movie with scene points, so... But it's still, I mean, that was 400 scene points, man. That's no joke. Minus 400 points. Yeah, I could have modified an emo with that or something. Look, Last Night in Soho, legit is like the editing on the film and the cinematography is actually like very interesting and gorgeous, with no doubt. Ooh. First third of the movie, very interesting. I found, I always do like a little check-in with myself during a movie, and I'm like, am I enjoying this? And I was like, yes, I am. I can't believe the critical response to this was mildly positive, but also some might describe it as slightly mixed. Second third of the movie, I said, all right, this is where they're going to lose it a little bit before they bring it back at the end. Third act of the movie, I was like, oh no, you don't know what you had. It's all... You got it all backwards. Anyway, I'm not trying to spoil it for... I think a lot of people would watch it and like it. And I don't think that makes you a bad film viewer. But Kate and I, we're definitely on the same page when the movie... Well, it's one of... You know it's bad, like, when a movie ends and you're like, how'd you like it? Well, it started kind of great, but then, like, it sucked at the end. That's one thing. But when, you know, you're in the third act and you're both just like, oh, come on. What, they're still doing this? With these? Again? I get it, I get it! That's how you know it's bad. Well, not, again, I didn't like it. To call it bad is probably a stretch, but that's Looper for me. I kind of like Looper, but I did watch it on an airplane. You can't really trust somebody when they watch it on an airplane. Look at the size of this soul even, man. Airplane movies hit different. Yeah, I watched X-Men Apocalypse on an airplane 2 times. Now, what the heck? To be clear, both times I was like, this movie is pure ass. But I was like, eh, you know, it beats just staring at the back of the seat in front of me. On the same flight? No, I flew, Kate and I went to Japan one time, and it was like the premiere movie on the flight. I was like, check it out, we got X-Men Apocalypse. So I watched it, and then I was hoping, because we were there for like 10 days or something, I was hoping by the time that we flew back that there would be like new movies, but they were like, you still just got like the same ones from before, including X-Men Apocalypse. So I just watched it again, and the whole time I was like, this is kind of ass. Okay, this is gonna take us a bit, and you know what? I embrace that. Sire, my frame rate. Why watch the same shitty movie again? I mean, it was either like watch X-Men Apocalypse or like, you know, watch like The Hitman's Bodyguard or something like that. I don't know. At least like X-Men Apocalypse is like just bad. Hitman's Bodyguard is like, you know, Ryan Reynolds bad. It's like a whole different, it's like a smarmy bad. Just like, it's irritating. We win. We win for sure. I'm not anti-Ryan Reynolds, okay? I think he's good in Deadpool. I also, you look, that clip from Free Guy that went viral, that was like, look at how cringe this is. I'm like, when I was watching the clip, I was like, look, it's a little cringe, don't get me wrong. But it seems like, I don't know, kind of fun at least. I mean, I guess I'm also just past the point where I'm like, I win these. I'm past the point where I expect like a Hollywood movie that takes inspiration from video games to actually be like, you know, representative of what I am as a gamer. What am I as a gamer? I don't really know. Cynical, I guess, largely. But I'm like, you know, in 2012, you could watch Wreck-It Ralph and be like, what the heck, Zangief's in a movie? Nowadays, I'm like, please, just stop. Just leave us alone. Anyway, we are indeed the vampire survivor. We survived the vampire for 3 seconds. Also, hey, that was pretty good. That's all I got to say. Zangief in a movie? Yo, has anyone done the Wojak reacting? I saw that there was Wojak reacting, but it was like Stalker, the Russian movie, where it was like the two guys in the Stalker bunker, and they were like, oh. What, has anyone done it yet with Donald Sutherland from the end of the 1970s invasion of the Body Snatchers? That would totally work, man. That would if you got like a meme template of Donald Sutherland going, it would totally work. Oh, he's pointing backwards, right? It's like, I can't do it because my camera is mirrored. I can't visualize things in my head. Hairy forearm user has logged on. You got a problem? Check this out. Hold on. Jamie, can we zoom in on this? Check that out right there. You ever wonder why I don't want to become one of those people that makes their own bread? Look at this. Look at this. You think I want to be pulling flour out of the heel of my hand? It's attached to my damn hair for like 6 hours. Got to shave my hands to make my own bread. Yeah, someone in Mouth's chat was like, because I was like, oh, I almost bought Beyond Burgers, but then the Beyond Burgers only come in packs of 4. But then the buns, the smallest bun pack that I could find was 6. And I'm like, we're 2 people and a baby. And then you're going to say, that's where you go. You got to go to the individual bakery section. Now, the individual bakery section at this grocery store did not have buns. They only had scones, bagels, cookies, muffins, cupcakes, etc., etc. It was you too. They said make their own buns. And I said, yeah, maybe I'll make my own buns. They said, it's easy. Step 1, shave your fucking hands, man. It's so easy. All you got to do is shave your hands first, like Christian Slater. Anyway, hold on. We got some money to spend. Power me up. But seriously, this is why I embrace the smaller grocery store, man. Minimum buns is 6? Come on. I'm just buying, man. I'm just buying. $26.40, I can afford that. Don't tell me what I can't do. I clicked it. I don't have the money to click this. Press any key. It's not working. Sorry, I have to go to the bathroom. I think that my brain has been swallowed up by bladder. We're going to be back in just a couple of minutes here. Let me